Well, I mean, the first and probably most important thing to say is we shouldn't all get too excited because Hamas and Fatah have signed declarations putting their divisions behind them before. In fact, over the last decade, there's been more than a dozen of these kind of declarations, but they often go nowhere because Hamas and Fatah have so many positions that they just simply don't agree on. And I'll give you just a couple of examples. For example, Hamas wants to remain armed and have some major role in running the Gaza Strip. And the Palestinians say that, they have the Palestinian Authority, they have a police force, and that all the arms should be, in the hands of their police officers, by the way, officers who were trained by the United States. Hamas also, for example, rejects all of the Palestinian Authority's agreements with Israel, going back to the Oslo Accords, including the PA's desire for an independent state, because of course Hamas sees the future Palestinian state, including all of Israel. So these are deep divisions. China put out this agreement, which, if you read on the face of it, it should, it doesn't really reflect the very complicated reality on the ground that will, almost surely torpedo this declaration like the past declarations. And it will be deeply unpopular and unacceptable for Washington because it does state that Hamas will have some role in governing the Gaza Strip after the war. That is not an option, according to the United States. And of course, not according to Israel. The foreign minister, Israel Katz, tweeted already that this is, an untenable agreement and that Hamas will have no role in the future of Gaza because they will be, as he said, defeated.
Jordana, let's talk about Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to Washington at the moment. Now, what is he particularly, specifically looking to accomplish?
Well, I think that's a terrific question, and it's very unclear, I think, to many in Israel what Netanyahu is actually after in this trip to Washington, other than setting a record as the foreign leader who's given the most addresses to a joint session of Congress. That may be one of Netanyahu's main goals, to get into the history books, but there's no real pressing reason for him to be in Washington. He's had ups and downs with the Biden administration, the last one about ammunitions, but that has even been sorted. He sent high-level delegations to deal with issues of the ceasefire and post-war Gaza planning. And of course, he'll arrive at a time of really political uncertainty and a dramatic moment. Kamala Harris is taking all the oxygen in the room right now. She will not be at Netanyahu's address to Congress. That will likely make the headlines more than anything Netanyahu says in that speech. He's not expected to unveil a Gaza ceasefire plan. He's not expected to unveil a new path towards peace that might include normalization with the Saudis. So this seems like a trip that Netanyahu really is all about maybe Netanyahu, but not necessarily any greater policy achievements.